Joining me right now is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Bob Goodlatte. Mr. Chairman, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Maria. It's good to be with you.
What do you think about the president's tweet there? Where is the attorney general?
Well, the good news is that late last night, through her attorney, Lisa Page, did agree to appear for a private interview on Friday voluntarily. We are still working out the details, so I can't get into that. But that is an important and positive development because we've been trying for 7 months to talk to Lisa Page, and it was very disturbing when she refused to appear for her subpoena deposition yesterday. She is, however, still under that subpoena, and this appearance will go a long way towards allowing the committees to get the information they need from her as a part of our investigation into what happened in 2016 and the disparate treatment and the bias reflected in the text between her and Peter Strzok. But the disparate treatment of one presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton, where they bent over backwards to not take action against her, and the initiation of an investigation into the other presidential campaign under very questionable circumstances.
So what are you looking to get at, Mr. Chairman? Because, you know, her side is saying that your committee is bullying her, number one. Number two is we know that when Peter Strzok testified in private behind closed doors, his lawyer told him not to answer so many questions. You know, many people said, including yourself, that they came up with excuses not to answer. What if she does the same thing Lisa Page does in that private hearing on Friday?
Well, first, going to Peter Strzok, because he will be testifying publicly today. It wasn't his attorney. It was the FBI's attorney who instructed him not to answer a whole host of questions that we had for Peter Strzok. We have had since some very serious discussions with the FBI about this. They want this to be fully and openly discussed, and I think that we're moving in the right direction. But we'll see today what questions he answers and what questions he does not. Now, with regard to Ms. Page, the same circumstances will hold. However, we have many questions that were answered by Peter Strzok, and we expect them to be answered by Lisa Page as well.
Well, let me ask you, because it's very interesting when you go back to the timeline. Peter Strzok was in charge of the Hillary Clinton email investigation as well as the Trump investigation. He takes over solely overseeing the Trump-Russia collusion investigation on July 31, 2016, and then 8 days later, Lisa Page sends him a text saying Donald Trump will not become president, right? And he says, no, we will stop it. How do you answer that? I mean, isn't that right there evidence that his anti-Trump bias did, in fact, lead his behavior as the guy running the investigation?
Well, that's how I think millions of Americans understand that. Peter Strzok will have the opportunity to publicly explain his statement and be questioned by a great many members of both the House Judiciary Committee and the Oversight and Government Reform Committee about that and many other texts that reflect very disturbing, extreme bias on the part of both of these individuals in communicating with each other over government equipment as they are, as you point out, lead investigators and attorneys in these highly sensitive and important investigations.
So what are you trying to understand what evidence they used to launch an investigation into Donald Trump? I mean, is it possible that they had no evidence whatsoever and they just decided to launch an investigation so that one political party could spy on another?
Well, we are interested in the disparate treatment of these two separate investigations, and there is, in my opinion, shocking differences between how they handled the Hillary Clinton matter, which we will also be asking questions about today, and how they started this investigation into so-called Trump-Russia collusion.
So I know that your colleague Devin Nunes, the chairman of the Intel Committee, wants information about what took place before the July 31st launch of the Trump-Russia investigation. Why is that important, to understand what communication went on before the investigation actually launched?
Well, we truly do want to know what these people, who at the very same time they're launching this investigation, are also in the process of trying to wrap up an investigation into Hillary Clinton that many people have raised many questions about the improprieties they followed. In fact, Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein has made it very clear that the reason why James Comey was fired from the FBI was because of his mishandling of that matter in 2016. So these are all very important things. Why did they go so far in one direction to not take action, and then so far in the other direction to take action? That is very serious. We do not want to ever see that happen again in any campaign, particularly not a presidential campaign. We have another one coming up in 2020.
In another text exchange, Peter Strzok says, quote, "There is no way Trump gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk." Is that a smoking gun to nefarious behavior? We can't take that risk. So, I mean, you could look at that and say, well, maybe that's why they launched the investigation, so that they have something to make his presidency illegitimate.
We're going to give him the full opportunity to explain that one as well.